Back with more Titans. This is episode 1 of season 3. Oh boy, friends, it's finally here. I'm so excited to delve into this third season of the show. It feels like it's been a very long wait, obviously with COVID and stuff. I'm sure their schedule and everything got delayed, but we've gotten some news recently. We've got the trailer, and now the day is here. Season 3, well, the day is here for me, because this actually came out about 5 days ago. But I was away, so apologies that these reactions to the first few episodes are going to be a bit late. Hopefully the hype will still be very real, because from what I've been hearing from my friends who do watch the show, I've heard some really positive things about these first 3 episodes, so I'm really excited to check them out. Been steering clear of spoilers, I've been muting hashtags and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, I'm just excited for the show to be back, because we know a few things about who we're getting and what we're getting, and I've really missed these characters a lot. You know, I found myself in recent months being like, oh, Titans is back soon, I'm really looking forward to that. And you know, I know a lot of people have had problems with the first couple of seasons of the show. I've actually really enjoyed them. I'm sure I've gotten that across in my reactions to the show since we started. Well, I hope I have. I've really enjoyed them. I thought season 2 was an improvement on season 1. I'm sure from what I'm hearing that this season's again an improvement, and that's all I can really ask for. As long as the show's getting better, you know, I'm obviously going to support something that I'm enjoying. But there are valid criticisms of it, I'm sure, and I'm aware. It's not a perfect show. There are things that I wish they will improve upon this season, and hopefully they will. But yeah, I'm just really hyped to see what they're going to do with this season and the whole thing. We know Red Hood is coming. We know we're getting some other kind of big characters from DC. We don't want to talk about too many, just in case people aren't aware of who we're going to be seeing this season. But yeah, Red Hood is one of my absolute favourite DC characters. Beast Boy is one of my favourite DC heroes. One of my favourite heroes in general. We know I love my boy Gar. We've known this since episode 1. And yeah, I'm hoping a lot of these new characters we're introduced to are going to get a lot of justice this season. We're going to have Blackfire this season at some point as well. I'm hoping some really cool stuff with Connor now that he's properly part of the team. We know we're getting some crazy stuff with Jason. And Dick's finally Nightwing as well, which is great, and I can't wait to see a bit more of him. I'm just hoping we see a proper team dynamic this season. Donna got electrocuted, which wasn't so fun, so Rachel's gone off to maybe try and bring her back. I mean, spoiler alert, we know she's coming back this season. She's in on the promotional material, she's in the trailers. But I don't know when, so that's always going to be exciting to work out when it's all happening. But I'm just so excited that the show's back. This episode is called Barbara Gordon, so I'm guessing we're going to meet Barbara Gordon in this, who we also knew was coming, so I'm very excited to see this new iteration of the character. And yeah, I'm just firing on all the cylinders really. I'm just so excited, and especially because I haven't been able to watch these episodes as they came out, and I've been hearing good things, so I'm very excited. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into season 3. Oh my god. They're jumping right into it then. Don't go, buddy. Don't do it. But also do it. Oh dear.
I'm not afraid of anything anymore.
I mean, I don't like the look of that. You seem to be ingesting piss.
Fuck the Joker.
I'm afraid I think the Joker's gonna fuck you. Fuck you up, I mean. Ah! Oh shit! Fuck! I did not waste time! Looks like Dr. Eggman. Oh! Yes! It's your boy. Yes! Look at you go! Yes! Oh my god, guys, they're being a team. It took them 3 years, but they're a team. Nice. Hooray! Yeah! Oh, I love the outfit. Yes! Oh! Oh, he's got the leather jacket.
You'll want mine too.
right? Oh, I'm good. It's
Oh,
hard to top the super. You heard the man. It's hard to top the super.
I'd want your autograph card, don't worry.
Disco lights and champagne. I'm a therapist.
Oh, yeah.
Justin. Hi.
Batman and I never waited around for the press back in Gotham.
Maybe that's why the press was so bad.
Why a bat? Because bats hear everything.
Very excited for Tim Drake as well. Ah, nice.
Batman's ally, Robin, was found dead tonight, along with a security guard. The Joker, who was waiting for police, was taken in without further incident.
Oh, shit.
Word yet on how Batman is
Oh, buddy.
this terrible loss.
Really, don't worry. Is he like staying with Bruce? Because that's kind of wholesome.
I had him buried in the family plot, next to Alfred.
Alfred's dead? Don't just so casually say that.
Look, what was Jason doing studying chemistry?
I don't know.
He barely read the back of the cereal box.
Doesn't matter, Dick. Jason's dead. There's nothing we can say now that will bring it back. I'll make us some lunch.
Is he pretending to be this casual about it?
Jason never evolved. He never grew past his own worst instincts. Don't let that happen to you. Keep learning,
Jason never evolved, you say?
growing.
What do you think, Rachel? The snake was really cool. What should I do for an encore?
Is he trying to find new animals?
I just miss you.
Oh.
Barbara?
Yes!
Why would Jason have gone out on his own? Especially after Bruce told him not to.
Jason Todd doing something impulsive.
I was going to say, it's not entirely out of character.
Did he seem off or weird?
Yeah, he always seems weird. He's a weird guy.
I don't think he's processing this very well.
Your father and I had better communication when we were fighting this war.
War? We still call it a war.
It is war.
My father died from a heart attack after being frozen in a block of ice by a man wearing a fucking refrigerator suit.
Mr.
Oh.
Freeze.
I know who he is.
Oh, damn.
You took another kid who was lost and angry and alone and convinced him that he'd be invincible if he put on a mask. No more Robins, Bruce.
Oh boy.
The Joker shot me.
If I had tea, I would spill it.
You're as crazy as the fucking Joker.
Well, I'm not quite sure that's what he meant by talking to Bruce, but I mean, she's not entirely wrong.
The last thing Bruce is going to do is drag another kid into this mess.
He won't admit that he failed Jason.
The Titans failed Jason more than anyone, Barbara. He had a lot of problems, and we didn't have the patience for him.
That is true.
We wanted the Titans to work so badly, we gave up on it.
I really do think they sell... Oh, that's a good shot. They really do sell the history, I think, between those two. Between all of them, really.
B.
B for Batman. For Banana.
Harris
For
Place, B.
Harris Place. B. I'd have got there eventually. Yeah, so was he making that stuff himself then that he gave himself at the start? You.
Chemical compound unknown.
Of course. Looks like Killer Croc's snot or something. Carrie Kelly? He's recruiting new Robins or trying to track some down.
You want to be Robin again?
Oh my god. You are not okay, sir.
I can't do this alone.
Then don't do it anymore, Bruce.
It's Jason.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What the hell? Shenanigans.
But you know what he was doing
Oh boy. I mean, I get there's some irony to that, but you could have just shot him if you were gonna... Oh my. Oh my goodness me. Okay, I adored this premiere. I thought it was really great. I particularly loved how they reintroduced all the characters again. Obviously there were some new names thrown in as well. But the opening section, where they just went right in there with Jason dying at the hands of the Joker. I know there's a lot of like rights issues and stuff. I think when it comes to the Joker being on stuff like this, I don't think they can necessarily show the character that much. Like you can't see his face and everything. Because we kind of had a similar thing in the season 1 finale, didn't we? Where we had the alternate timeline kind of thing going on. So it's the same kind of thing here, but I think we've got a bit more. And, you know, you see the Joker in all sorts of media and stuff anyway. You know, I don't think... It's not like we don't see Joker that much in like TV and film and stuff, is it? So I don't really mind. And it's such an essential part, I think, of Jason's story. You know, his murder at the hands of Joker. I'm glad they still kind of included him, even if it's just, you know, a shot of him from the back, and the costume and everything looked cool, and really atmospheric, tense start. I didn't think they were going to jump right into that. You know, I kind of thought maybe that's going to be how episode 1 was going to end with that, but they ended up starting it off, and actually it was the big thing that kick-started a lot of the drama this season, apparently, because maybe Dick's just going to be in Gotham with the Titans now, just protecting it because Bruce is fucked off. But yeah, that was a really insane opening. I don't want to say too much more, but I guess we know with the material going into this season, and at this point the first 3 episodes are dropped. I'd like to think if you're watching this reaction you've seen the first 3 episodes, hopefully. If not, then be wary, but obviously if you know the comics then you will kind of know where things are going. You know, I thought it was a cool start to the Red Hood story that we're going to be getting this season. Some people are kind of wary, like, oh, Jason's very young to be coming back as Red Hood at this point. And I'm really intrigued to see what they're going to do with it, but I quite like that side of things, and it seems like there is more going on to then just, well, Jason's been murdered, he's going to come back as Red Hood. Like, he has this whole thing with him studying chemistry, he's making this drug thing, and it seemed to be maybe him dealing and repressing his fears, because he had like that brief flashback to when he nearly died last season, falling off the building before Connor saved him. So I think he's still kind of dealing with some trauma there, and the fact that Dick was even talking about the fact that the Titans failed Jason, really, they kind of just glossed over him and didn't help him out with his troubles in their efforts to succeed as a team, which I think is fairly true. You know, Jason nearly killed himself last season because Titans weren't really helping him out. So I found that really interesting, and I quite like the potential motivations and mystery with that, and like exactly what that drug does, especially because we know a certain Mr. Jonathan Crane's showing up this season. Is that going to tie into it? I have some theories. I don't want to talk too much about them just yet, but I do have some theories involving maybe this new murderer who's in town killing people, and how that may tie into stuff like this. We'll have to wait and see. But either way, I'm very, very excited to see them kick off this story, and to see one of my favourite DC characters brought to life. And, you know, it's going to be different. They're going to do different things with it, but I kind of welcome that. And they're certainly doing very different things, I think, with their interpretation of Bruce. So I'm kind of excited to see what they do with it. But that was a really kind of intense start to the whole season. So like they just got it out of the way. Like this is our intention for this season. We're telling this story. Boom. And they're going to fill in the blanks later on, I would assume. And just a reintroduction to the whole team dynamic. It really felt like, oh, that's the comic book characters. This is the team. You know, it was cool to see Nightwing, you know, make some quips and just like big smile on his face as he's like knocking all these guys out, just, you know, in the thrill of the fight, like messing and toying with them a little bit, having a bit of fun in combat. I thought the whole sequence where he was taking those guys out as well was really well choreographed. I thought it was a really cool fight. I liked seeing everyone else get involved as well, seeing Corey's new outfit, which looks awesome, seeing her fly and look all cool with her powers. You know, Gar got to kick a bit of ass as well. Connor just standing the absolute unit, and Crypto being best boy. I love that we just saw them being a team finally. That's what we were all kind of, I think, complaining about a lot in season 1 and 2. Just that they kept fighting with each other. And like, we just want them to be the Titans. We want them to be the team versus the villain, not all fighting each other. And hopefully season 3, in a twisted way, is going to stick to that. I mean, I know the whole Jason thing is not exactly going to be how it is. But it already felt like, okay, this is a team dynamic. We have a working Titans team now that seem to all be a family and get on. And that's kind of what we've wanted. That was my biggest complaint with season 2, is that you couldn't just have the characters be a team. That's what the show should be. And I think we're getting that, which is really cool. So I like that we did see that. Again, you know, Gar and Connor didn't get a lot to do. They didn't have a lot of screen time. But we have a whole season for that, so I'm not going to be mad about that in the premiere, because they did take steps, I think, to ensure it wasn't too clogged. I mean, we did have Tim Drake stuff in there, and I suppose we didn't really need that yet, because it didn't pay off much. They could have introduced him maybe a bit later on, but I don't mind that they did it here, because, you know, we didn't see Rachel, or any of that Donna stuff, we didn't see any of them. I don't know when they're going to show up. We didn't see Hank and Dawn. So, you know, they still left some of the characters out to focus on what they needed to do, which I appreciate, because there's a lot going on. And now we have a big setup, potentially, for the Titans to maybe go to Gotham. Now we can bring everyone else into it and maybe catch up with them and see where they are. So I'm excited about the future with that. So yeah, I really liked seeing that the Titans team dynamic really work, and seeing them getting praised by the press. Just have a bit of fun as that team unit. And, you know, Gar's missing Rachel, which is wholesome as fuck. Hopefully they can reunite soon. I like that, you know, Dick and Corey are having some nice moments together as well. Just enjoying being a team. But there seems to be a separate thing going on with Corey. I like that she took some time to remember the people that she lost. She mentioned Donna. She raised the glass to Jason, even though she's said earlier how angry she was at him for getting himself killed. You know, there's still that deep care there. And then I'm guessing there was something in that drink she had that made it go a bit whoa. I don't know if it was like the same thing that Jason took at the start, if it's something else entirely. Is this going to be related to Blackfire maybe? But she had a big moment where she just passed out and wandered into the street, seemingly unconscious, all like weird, under the influence. So exactly what's going on there, no idea, no predictions, but I'm sure that's going to be something that they explore. But it's cool that, you know, Corey's got a side story already kicking off, so that'll be fun. And to see her talk to the therapist guy that I think she met late last season, maybe. I'm pretty sure that was the same guy. You know, just reintroducing stuff like that. Talking about going for a drink or whatever, and I mean, they're bringing Barbara into the show now. Are her and Dick gonna rekindle things? I don't know. I think ultimately they do need to put Dick and Corey together again. I think they will, but maybe that's going to be more of a slow burn. But it's cool that they're introducing these things and these separate threads for the characters already, giving them, you know, some of their own story threads. So that's really cool. Looking forward to more of that, and for more of Gar and Connor, obviously, as well. Gar's always been the highlight of the show for me. He's always been my favourite character, and I really like Connor as well. He's one of my favourites. His episode last season, I think, was one of the best episodes of the show. So hopefully they've got some really cool stuff planned for those two this season as well. And when we catch up with Hank and Dawn, Rachel and Donna, etc., they'll have some cool stuff. And I liked the introduction to Tim Drake as well. Very excited that he's going to be part of this season, and potentially a slot being filled with Jason dying. Although maybe there is no more Robin now and no more Batman, because all that's gone. But they introduced him. He's going to get involved in things somehow. I don't know how that's going to happen yet, but I'm excited for it. I really like the actor a lot. I think he made a really good first impression. Very likeable, very quickly. You're rooting for him very quickly. I like the family dynamic they had set up, and the fact that he clearly idolises Batman and Robin, and he seemed quite devastated when he heard that Robin was dead. So exactly where they're going to bring him back into the story, what role he's going to play, I'm excited for. But as far as the first impressions go, I'm very excited to see more of Tim. And I also really enjoyed Barbara, finally getting an introduction to her. I didn't know if they'd ever like introduce characters like Oracle, etc. into the show, but we've got it. I really liked the actress. I like that this Barbara just takes no prisoners. She has none of Bruce's bullshit. She just calls them out, just says it as it is, and I really enjoyed that. I think a lot of people aren't a big fan of what they do with Bruce in Titans, like in terms of like the portrayal of him, like the writing for him and stuff. I'm actually quite intrigued by it. I think it's quite different, and I like that. I wouldn't want it to just be exactly the same as Batmans we've seen before, because, you know, every 5 minutes there's a new Batman and a new Batman movie coming out. You know, they can do their thing. Let's do something a bit different if we have the chance to. Because I know they're introducing a lot of Batman characters, and this season seems to be set a lot in Gotham, but I was watching it thinking, I like that this is still Dick Grayson's story, and it's still, he is the central character still, because he was the one doing the investigating about Jason. He was the one who noticed that Jason was like studying chemistry, and, you know, he sees more to it. Whereas Bruce is very reserved, pretending he's absolutely fine with everything, you know, pushing people away, being quite the toxic father figure, basically. And Barbara's got her own stuff to deal with because she's got like a new serial killer in town, so she's busy with that. She thinks Jason's death is just, you know, partly Jason, partly Bruce. That's just what he does. She's kind of seen through that as well. So that was all really interesting, and I like that she called Bruce out on everything that he does and how he treated people. And Dick later found out that he was indeed just already looking for the next Robin replacement. Because I think Bruce is just a very lonely person, especially since Alfred's apparently dead. That sucks. I think we already knew that Commissioner Gordon was dead. I feel like they'd mentioned that. But I'm pretty sure Dick spoke to Alfred in season 1. So he's died fairly recently, I guess, maybe in between seasons, I don't know. Maybe they mentioned that he died in season 2, I can't quite remember. But anyway, he's dead, so Bruce is pretty damn lonely. Clearly, you know, fractured and dependent on someone else. Because his life has been defined by loss ever since his parents died, and this whole kind of hole he's fallen down into, sometimes quite literally depending on the adaptation, you know, is kind of all spurned from that loss. And I don't think he's ever learned how to grieve properly, because the first proper loss he experienced, he's like, oh, I'm going to dress up like a bat now. You know, he doesn't deal with grief very well. If anything, I think this is the most... if all this shit actually did happen to someone in real life, I think this is what he would be like, to be honest. I think it's actually a very realistic interpretation of Bruce Wayne, which I find quite interesting. And just how broken he is, what a toxic guy he seems to be to himself and to others. And the fact that he's seemingly killed the Joker in retaliation, and realising like, oh, if I need to cure this city or whatever, I need to take Joker out as well because we're just as bad as each other. I like that Barbara was kind of saying that you're just as crazy as the Joker is, because every Batman comic and movie show, they eat up the, oh, you know, we couldn't have one without the other. You know, Batman needs the Joker just as much as the Joker needs Batman. That's why they don't kill each other, which is very interesting in itself. But I like that, like, fuck it, he killed Robin, I'm going to kill him. And he's realised, like, I've gone too far, the Joker's won. I can't do this anymore. I can't be Batman anymore. You need to, you know, save this city now. And he's just gone God knows where. I think that's kind of an interesting thing to switch up that character. And I'm excited to see how that goes, I guess. It certainly spins other people's stories forward. Like, this puts Dick Grayson front and centre, I think. He's got a mystery to solve, and all of the crime in Gotham to deal with now as well. Because they showed, you know, how well the Titans were working in San Francisco. Maybe they're just on top of things there for the time being. So maybe they can just go to Gotham now. They're showing that they do work as a team in San Francisco, so maybe that this is just a cool reason for them to, you know, change locations for a bit. So I'm kind of intrigued to see what they do with this concept, and I quite like it. And I quite like how they've really damaged the character of Bruce in this. And I think it was very telling when he was like, well, do you want to be Robin again? Like, the desperation in his voice. I thought that was very well acted by Ian Glenn, actually. That line, the delivery of that, like, do you want to be Robin again? When Dick kind of found him out. He's just so beyond broken and beyond repair, I think, at this point. If he doesn't drink or push people away or just find a replacement and act like everything's fine, he'll just completely crumble and fall apart. And I think he's probably been that way ever since his parents died. And much like he didn't notice it when Jason was kind of doing sneaky shit and maybe falling apart on the inside, maybe that's because people hadn't noticed it for him when he was a kid. And look where he ended up. And he treated Dick just the same way, and Jason, and those future people that he may have recruited until Barbara called him out. And he went too far and killed the Joker. I loved the Easter eggs, by the way, of the potential Robins, because obviously they were different actual Robins that we've seen, like Carrie Kelly and stuff. That was really cool, little Easter egg there. So yeah, for like the setup of this is what your task is now, potentially for this season, I'm quite intrigued by it. I think that's really cool. And I look forward to seeing where they take it next. I mean, I know the title of the next episode, so I'm very, very excited to check that one out and get a glimpse of our boy. But yeah, this was a really strong start to the season. I thought they're doing a very interesting thing with Bruce and his kind of, he snaps, I guess, and now he's gone. Dick is in charge. I like to see the Titans actually be a team. Really cool. Just kind of checking in with everyone. You know, pulling no punches, starting off with the whole Jason murder and everything. I really liked Tim Drake. I liked Barbara Gordon a lot as well. Hopefully we'll see a lot more of those two as the season continues. But yeah, really, really strong start. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. So yeah, I'm going to try and get these reactions out as soon as I possibly can. As much as I'm itching to watch the next one, I will not have the space on my iPad, which I do my editing on, to have more than one episode at a time, so I need to edit this one and get this uploaded now before I can watch the next two. But hopefully, once this goes up, you'll see the next couple of reactions in the next day or so, and then, you know, be ready for episode 4. But I really enjoyed this premiere. Can't wait to see what's going to be happening in the next couple of episodes we have to watch. But yeah, until my next reaction, thanks for watching.